Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne. We're going to take a break from the garden walks, and today we're going to talk about hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are in full bloom, and it's a great time to explain a little bit of the differences. In the comments section below, we will have some information about the different types that I'm talking about in the next few moments. So what I want to start with is the big leaf hydrangeas. These many times, everyone is just all excited about the big leaf ones because of the pink and the blue flowers. Here you can see one in full shade. It is pink because we have very alkaline soil. So it's very rare to get blue flowers, first of all. Secondly, it's really tough to get these to bloom a lot. If you see this picture, normally they show in literature, they're in full bloom. That is really only in literature. It hardly ever happens in Northwest Indiana. As we proceed, you'll see in my garden, there's actually quite a few big leaf hydrangeas. None of them are performing well. I would really give these about a C rating. They're 50-50. The frost comes relatively late and they totally freeze. This one is called Summer Crush. You can see amazing two flowers, a third one coming on there. So really their performance is not very good in Northwest Indiana. As we proceed to the next group, these are Panicle Hydrangeas. These are absolutely amazing. This first one is called Little Lime. It's about a 5-foot hydrangea. The one right next to it is actually limelight. If you get an idea of scale here, it's closer to 8 foot. These are great because they are Panicle Hydrangeas. They bloom on brand new wood, and they're just a very reliable, great performer. I would give this whole Panicle group like an A or an A+ rating. The next one around the corner is one called Firelight. If we get a close-up of this, you can see the white is now turning to shades of pink, and this will turn to a pretty intense red. These get about 5 to 6 foot tall. These have been in my garden about 5 years. Once again, reliable performer. They seem to bloom every single year. My next one is one of the most popular that we carry, called the Bobo. To get an idea of the height here, this is just about 3 to 4 foot tall, about 3 to 4 foot wide. This has been in my garden for approximately 10 years. Every year I get this kind of performance on Bobo. Beautiful, fantastic hydrangea, fantastic panicle. I'm going to take you down to the shade area now, where you're going to actually see a whole bunch of panicles blooming in near shade. Typically I would put a Panicle Hydrangea in full sun for best performance, but I want you to see that actually the performance is really good in shade. You see a little dappled sunlight coming through here, and these are all different types of Panicle Hydrangeas within this particular setting. And again, they're all performing pretty well. In the foreground, this is a smooth hydrangea. Just to give you an idea of the smooth hydrangea is typically rated for more shade. This was done blooming. There's a little bit of fresh blooms coming on it, but these are expired blooms, but it is performing very well. We have things like Invincible Ruby. This one is Incredible. It has gotten done blooming and is now at that green stage. Again, a great performer, very easy to grow. I'd give that about an A rating as well. The next group here is actually an oakleaf hydrangea. And I give the oakleaves about a B rating, but they are really, really good for shade. But you notice that I'm not getting any flowering on the oakleaf hydrangea. Great texture, great leaf, gonna be some good fall color, a reddish color, but many of them don't often bloom. But again, a great group for the shade and good hydrangea. This one is also one of these smooth hydrangeas. If you notice, there's a whole bunch of fresh flowers coming on here. This was accidental because I had a little deer action going on through here and they nibbled off some of the old flowers. So this tells me if after the first set of blooms we give this a light shear, we're gonna get some great reblooming. Again, a smooth hydrangea, Invincible Ruby, Incredible, all those are the smooth group. This one is actually a hydrangea on a standard. We call that on a standard, but it's actually trained to have a single stem to it. This is quickfire. The one other thing I want to mention about the quickfires, you notice the bloom looks like it's not completely open. In fact, it has opened. These are fertile flowers and sterile flowers on the plant. This is great for pollinators. So if you're into pollinators, this is a great one called quickfire. This one is on a standard. It can also be in a bush form. My final one is the Serrata group, or the mountain hydrangeas. And this particular one is called Blue Billows. Now again, it's going to be more pink because of my alkaline soil, but you notice the flower structure is somewhat similar and also great for pollinators. So this gives you an overall idea of some of the different hydrangeas and some of the wonderful performance of them. So I'm going to highly recommend the Panicle Hydrangeas for our area. Ones great for shade are going to be the smooth hydrangeas and the oakleaf hydrangeas, and the mountain hydrangeas, kind of more of a collector's items. So thank you for joining Wednesdays with Wayne, sponsored by Niemeyer's Landscape Supply. And remember, beautiful landscapes start here.